For those who don't know about this story, I would like to tell it again. Our MC Kaiou enters the world of the meta-universe and gains the hidden class of a Necromancer. Unfortunately, his starting intelligence and spirit stats are both at 0, and he also shows a strange unique talent. In a fit of rage, Kaiou poured all his attribute points into strength. And being a Necromancer in this world is a very unique thing because a Necromancer can destroy the entire area with his own strength. As we saw in the previous episode, Kaiou kills a monster to save one of his classmates. But next day, all the villagers come to kill Kaiou and his classmates because they said that the monster whom Kaiou had killed was the guardian of this village. Therefore, all the villagers wanted to leave Kaiou outside the village for the whole night so that the guardian himself could take revenge on him. The villagers tie Kaiou in chains and leave from there, and as night falls, the nightmare monster arrives to kill Kaiou. Kaiou was tied in chains and that red-colored monster was coming at full speed to attack Kaiou from behind. Our MC had already seen the monster. It seems as if he was waiting for this. There was no feeling of fear on his face, but there was a slight smile on his face, which was enough to tell that our MC was waiting for this moment. Before the monster can attack Kaiou, he gets trapped in the sand-binding magical skill. We all have seen this skill in the previous chapter and who uses it. Kaiou was also surprised to see this because it was not planned. He surprisingly looks on the other side where he sees Yang Xiangdi who was using this skill. With this magical power, Yang Xiangdi had stopped the monster for a while. And using this magical power, Yang Xiangdi says, "Ma Fei, act quickly because I can stop this monster just for a few seconds." Then we also see Ma Fei, who by this time had come very close to the nightmare monster. He had a sword in his hand and his eyes were closed at this time. After reaching in front of the nightmare monster, Ma Fei says in dramatic words, "Relax, I, Ma Fei, will definitely take good care of you all." As a true swordsman, one man and one sword can conquer all enemies in this world. However, it was Ma Fei's biggest mistake to get close to the monster to kill it, because as soon as he opens his eyes after speaking his dramatic words, he sees in front of him the claws of the monster that had come very close to him to destroy him. However, as the nightmare attacks Ma Fei uses his sword to stop the monster's attack. The monster's attack was very powerful, which forced Ma Fei to wonder how fast he was and whether Kaiou had really killed such a monster despite being a mage. Ma Fei did not want to appear weaker than Kaiou in terms of power, so he sets out to attack the monster, saying that this cannot happen. If Kaiou can do it, then why can't I? So he attacks the monster with his defense-breaking strike. Due to this attack, the monster's power is reduced by just 5%. The fight between Ma Fei and Nightmare was going on in the background, and Yang Xiangdi was also standing next to him. Just then we see Zuoyu and Zhao Ziyu, who had also come to save Kaiou. Seeing them, Kaiou asks, "Why have you all come out here?" Then Zuoyu says, "We were scared that you'd be in danger all on your own, so we came out to help. Consider it a kind of repayment." Then Zuoyu quickly reaches Kaiou and starts breaking the chains tied to his hands. But the chain is not being broken by her, so she says that to break this chain we need Ma Fei's sword, but he cannot come here, so what should we do? However, you know how our MC is. He stops them and says there is no need for this, and with his power he breaks the chain and says, "Look, isn't it fine now?" Zuoyu and Zhao Ziyu are left dumbfounded after seeing that he is actually a necromancer. On the other hand, Ma Fei is still fighting with the nightmare. Their fight was very dangerous. But friends, you noticed one thing. Our MC had destroyed this monster in just one attack. Even though Ma Fei has been fighting with it for so long, he is still not able to kill it. After freeing Kaiou, Zuoyu quickly comes into fighting position and says, "Ma Fei, we are coming for your help. Zhao Ziyu, heal me quickly, and Kaiou, you also be ready." Hearing his words, Zhao Ziyu and Kaiou come into fighting position. Seeing them all coming to fight, Ma Fei stops them. "There is no need, I can do it myself. Real heroes are made through fighting. Scars are the symbol of man's pride." Hearing his words, Yang Xiangdi says, "Sir, don't fight it alone. Try to attack its head. The weak point of the nightmare monster is its head." Zuoyu also hears this and says yes, he is right. Yesterday Kaiou attacked Nightmare on the head with his staff and killed him in one stroke. Hearing this, a smile appears on Ma Fei's face that he should have thought of this. Our MC then tells Ma Fei that the nightmare's weak point is actually not its head. Ma Fei doesn't stop even after listening to Kaiou's words. He feels that he has found a way to kill the nightmare monster, so Kaiou is trying to stop him. "Haha, now you're scared, aren't you, Kaiou? You're afraid I'll overtake you. You needed the help of your companions to deal with the nightmare, but I only need a sword. Watch out for my next attack." Everyone asks, "But why should we see your attack?" Ma-Fei says while moving forward after attacking the nightmare, because my attack is very beautiful. Due to this attack, only 10% HP of the nightmare monster was reduced. At this time, the nightmare monster's HP had reduced by just 15%. Its HP was still 35 out of 50. And on the other hand, Ma-Fei's HP was still 15 out of 45, which means that while fighting the monster, Ma-Fei's HP had reduced a lot. Seeing that the monster did not die from his attack, Ma-Fei was stunned, unable to understand how this had happened. Big brother Nightmare, what's happened to you? I hit your weak point, be one-shotted already. Yang Xiangdi, are you sure the weak point of a nightmare is its head? Are you trying to stall me? As much as Ma-Fei was surprised, the other people present there were also equally surprised. Zuo Yu surprisingly says this is not right. Kaio Yu had killed Nightmare by attacking his head. Yang Xiangdi also says, I know, it is an issue with that person. You are not as good as Kaio Yu. Hearing all these things, Ma-Fei's self-esteem gets hurt and he gets a little angry and thinks that I am not as capable as Kaio Yu. I'm not as good as him. I, a swordsman, can't compare with him, a necromancer. Seeing his low HP, everyone starts calling him. Ma-Fei, come back. With your HP, you'll definitely die if you take another hit. He'll definitely be one-shotted and won't even have time to be healed then. Let Kaio Yu do it instead. However, Ma-Fei does not listen to all of them because his self-esteem was hurt. And no matter how he wanted to kill this nightmare monster, the monster reaches to Ma-Fei to attack. And Ma-Fei was in full rage to kill that monster. He continuously attacks the nightmare monster by using defense breaking strike, which reduces the nightmare monster's HP by 30%. The nightmare monster was lying on the ground and only 5% of his HP was left. Seeing him, Ma-Fei thinks just one last strike. I must definitely kill this nightmare. I must prove that I, Ma-Fei, am not worse than Kaio Yu. Before Ma-Fei can make the last attack on that monster, Kaio Yu comes and attacks that monster and kills it. Ma-Fei gets a little surprised after seeing this. After killing the nightmare, Kaio Yu picks up the black stone and says, you have worked hard. Class monitor, Ma-Fei, who had worked so hard to kill this nightmare monster, was angry at this time. He looks at Kaio Yu and says, Kaio Yu, what are you doing? I have killed him and you are snatching my limelight. Everyone saw it. I swallowed this nightmare. This brat Kaio Yu stole my limelight. Ma-Fei was very angry because Kaio Yu stole all his hard work in one fell swoop. It seemed as if Ma-Fei was coming to attack Kaio Yu, then Yang Xiangdi stopped him and said, Class monitor, let it go, let it go. Zuo Yu and Zhao Ziyu were not saying anything at this time. They thought it best to remain quiet, whereas Kaio Yu looks at the black stone and thinks that nothing happened as expected. Suddenly 2 more nightmare monsters come to attack them, seeing which they all get scared. Another nightmare monster is coming. This time there are 2. What should we all do? Seeing them all nervous, Kaio Yu says, let's go into the house. There is no need to fight with these nightmares. I think I have figured out how we have to pass the task. Hearing Kaio Yu's words, all of them quickly go into the room. As soon as they comes into the room, Zuo Yu asks, Kaio Yu, what is the way by which we will be able to pass the task? Listening to her, Kaio Yu says, you will know tomorrow when the time comes, just listen to me. As soon as the next morning comes, all the villagers come again. This time they were very angry because Kaio Yu had to spend the whole night outside, and yet Kaio Yu spent the whole night in the room and his friends also helped him in this. The village head says angrily, you despicable outsiders, we gave you the chance to redeem yourselves, but we gave you an inch and you took a mile, and killed another protector spirit. You should all go to hell I say. No matter what you say today, you must all die. We cannot let you destroy our nightmare village. Interrupting his conversation, Kaio Yu asks village head Wogan, are you really a villager of this nightmare village? Rubbish. I've lived here for generations. Don't try to stall for time, your death is certain. Village head says this in anger. Then Kaio Yu seriously says, since things have reached this far, then the truth behind nightmare village has to come out. There is only one truth of this village. The village head asks him, what do you mean? Then Kaio Yu points towards everyone and says, that is you, and you. Every single one of you in this village is not the original inhabitants of Nightmare Village. All 40 of you are the class that was wiped out in Nightmare Village previously. We were trapped in this fantasy realm ever since we entered, so we had no way of leaving the other world. Friends, if you remember, before coming to this world, their principal had told all these students that the 40 students who had gone before you, all of them died after coming to this world. Although Kaio Yu's words had no effect on all the villagers, on the contrary, the village head started laughing after listening to him. What fantasy realm? What class? Are you making up stories? You're just scared of death, so you're lying to appease us. All you've said is nothing more than one of your silly stories. There's no evidence at all. Hearing the village head's words, a slight smile appears on Kyoyu's face. Of course I have evidence. Saying this, he takes out the black stone. Seeing the black stone in his hand, the village head gets bewildered and says, "The protector stone, you move the protector stone from its place, you will be killed 1,000 times for this." However, the protector stone was not only in the hands of Kyoyu, but his entire team had a protector stone each in their hands. Seeing which, the village head becomes even more angry that all of them had a protector stone in their hands. According to these villagers, the black stone is a protector stone, which is a high-level holy object, and it protects them from monsters attacking at night. If anyone tries to tamper with this stone, the Heavenly Lord himself will punish him. Then Kyoyu explains to all the villagers this is not a protector stone. This entire fantasy realm is made up of this black stone and its mysterious symbol. As soon as we break this black stone, cracks will start appearing in this fantasy realm. After explaining his point, Kyoyu throws the black stone on the ground and asks his friends to throw the stone too. They start throwing all the black stones on the ground one by one. Due to this, fantasy realm starts cracking. The invisible walls that were preventing all the students from going out slowly start breaking due to this. The breaking of the black stone not only caused a rift in the fantasy realm, but the villagers also started having headaches and started remembering their old memories from when they were in the human world. They all remember their old memories of how they came into this world, how much courage they had before coming here, that they would pass the task of this world and go to their favorite university. But when they reach Nightmare Village, something fatal happens to them. They all are unable to get out of this village, and the one who was their class monitor turns into the village head. All the villagers who were previously looking like separate creatures return to their normal human form. The village head also becomes normal again, and all the other villagers also become humans again. All of them were happy as soon as they all come in human form. A message is shown in this world. Players have found the secret core of this nightmare village and have successfully awakened all the villagers. Mission successful. The rewards given will be calculated based on the individual rating of each person. Seeing this message, everyone becomes happy that we have passed this mission. The students who had come here earlier start going back to the human world as soon as this mission is completed. The old class monitor thanks Kyoyu and his team for their help. After all of them leave, young Xiangdi comes to Kyoyu and says, "Kyoyu, you're really something. How did you know that was the way to pass?" Ma Fei also says in a slightly rude manner, "Kyoyu, you were a little smart for once." Hearing all their talk, Kyoyu says, "Enough, let's talk about it when we get back." They all stand like this for a long time so that they can leave this world and go out. But even after standing for a long time, they are not able to get out of here. They couldn't understand what was happening. Zuoyu was surprised and asked, "Why are we still here? Haven't we passed the mission?" At this time, all of them were not able to get out of here when suddenly another message shows up in this world. Ding! Congratulations to 5 players on destroying the Black Nightmare Stones. A new mission has been issued. Retrieve the Heart of Nightmares. Mission difficulty E rank. Seeing this mission, our MC gets a serious look on his face, and now in this world these 5 will have to pass this E rank difficult mission also. Only then they will all be able to leave this world. So friends, chapter ends here. Now what will happen next, we will know in the next chapter. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video too.